Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie. I'm here today in front of my bookshelves to share with you my entire TBR as it stands at the end of 2022. So this was quite the video to film. I had forgotten. I don't know if I had this much trouble last year or if I just had completely forgotten how much work this is putting this all together. And so I did film it on a few separate days and I have broken it into 4 sections, and you'll see the video chapters below. You can skip around if there is something you're not really interested in. But I have fiction, non-fiction and romance, and there are a couple of things accidentally in the wrong section, but here we are. So the final section, I just realized I didn't tell you what section 4 was, is a couple of books that I may or may not finish by the end of the year. I'm filming this on Boxing Day, the 26th, so that I can have this edited and uploaded in time for it to go up on the 30th between now and then. And before the 1st of January, I may finish some of these. So I'm going to put them here and yeah, we'll see. And we're going to jump in. Like I said, I did film these on different days. So we're going to start right now with the fiction. This fiction section here is going to be done on the floor in front of my bookshelves so that I can put things back as I take them out, because I tried to do it the other way and it was a mess. So let's jump in. Flame Out, Wicked Embers, Unlit, and Blackbird Rising, all by Kerry Arthur. Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. The Infernal Desire Machine of Dr. Hoffman by Angela Carter. Vista Chinesa by Tatiana Salem Levy. Santa Olivia by Jacqueline Carey. The Unexpected Guest. The Hollow. The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. Taken at the Flood. The Labours of Hercules. After the Funeral. Cat Among the Pigeons. Dead Man's Folly. And Mrs. McGinty's Dead, all by Agatha Christie. Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. Sunburnt Veils by Sarah Hagadusti. Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. Blood Air by Amelie Wen Zhao. The Beautiful Ones by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Daughter of Darkness by Catherine and Elizabeth Kaur. Waking Romeo by Catherine Barker. Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. The Broken Raven and the Burning Swift by Joseph Elliott. 7 Wherewithal Way by Samantha Ellen Bound. The Marvellers by Donielle Clayton. The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. The Conductors by Nicole Glover. The Graces by Law Eve. All Our Yesterdays by Natalia Ginsberg. 3 Summers by Margarita Liberaki. Quiet in Her Bones by Nalini Singh. The Last Man by Mary Shelley. The Complete Stories of Leonora Carrington. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. Afterlove by Tanya Byrne. The Gaps by Leanne Hall. The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand. Crystal Crowned by Elise Cover. Girls with Razor Hearts and Girls with Rebel Souls by Suzanne Young. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I, Claudius by Robert Graves. A Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Maria Gainza. Cousins by Patricia Grace. Jack and Bet by Sarah Butler. All the Tears in China by Solari Gentle. A Bookshop in Algiers by Kauthar Ademi. Metamorphosis by Ovid. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwake Azemi. The Flight of the Falcon and Julius by Daphne du Maurier. Legend Born by Tracy Dion. The Roundhouse and The Night Watchman by Louise Erdrich. The Ninth Child by Sally Magnuson. The 100-Year House by Rebecca Mackay. How? I'm not sure. By Becky Manawatu. The Treehouse Library by Anna James. What Kitty Did Next by Carrie Cablin. The Story That Cannot Be Told by J. Caspar Kramer. The Detective's Guide to Ocean Travel by Nikki Greenberg. Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. Wintering by Chrissy Keane. The Queen of the Tealing. The Invasion of the Tealing and the Fate of the Tealing by Erica Johansson. Honey and Issues Guide to Fake Dating by Abadir Jagadar. She Gets the Girl by Rachel Lippincott and Alison Derrick. Please Don't Hug Me by Kay Kerr. Descendant of the Crane and the Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. The F-Team by Rara Ajar. House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. Ulysses by James Joyce. Emma by Jane Austen. Sugar by Carly Nugent. Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Antiquia de Fortune of the High Seas by Anna Rainbow. The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. Past the Shallows by Fable Perret. A Declaration of the Rights of Magician by H.G. Parry. Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Guards, Eric. And Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett. Crocodile on the Sandbank by Elizabeth Peters. After You'd Gone and Instructions for a Heatwave by Maggie O'Farrell. Death in Ecstasy. Dead Water and False Scent by Nemo Marsh. No Limits by Ellie Marnie. Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. Boy, Snow, Bird by Helen Oyemi. The Valkyries Rule. The Valkyrie Returns and The Valkyrie Queen by Tanya Nelston. Vox Machina, Kith and Kin by Marieke Ninjkamp. A Monstrous Regiment of Women by Laurie R. King. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. The Monk by Matthew Gregory Lewis. Trader by Amanda Macrina. The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Malay. A Dance with Fate, A Song of Flight, and Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. The Mapmakers by Tamsin Merchant. The Degenerates by J. Albert Mann. Jade City and Jade War by Fonda Lee. The Collarbound by Rebecca Sinetti. The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. For the Throne by Hannah Whiten. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. The Dark Griffin and the Griffin's Flight by KJ Taylor. Gargantus and Shadowgast by Thomas Taylor. The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton. The Five Wounds by Kirsten Feldes Quaid. A Useful Woman by Darcy Wilde. The X-Talk and Our Year of Maybe by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This one might belong in romance, but it's here. A Lair of Bones by Helen Shower. The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. I Must Betray You, Out of the Easy, and The Fountains of Silence, all by Rita Sepetys. Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. Threadneedle by Carrie Thomas. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. Flint by Raven Kennedy. Frostheart, Escape from Aurora by Jamie Littler. I don't really know if these are romance or just YA, but Variant Lost, Vivid Avowed, and Vital Found by Cadence Snow. Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. Light Years by Cass Morgan. Loveless by Alice Oseman. Shielded by Kaylin Flanders. An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. The Man I Think I Know by Mike Gale. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Troilus and Cressida and Titus Andronicus by William Shakespeare. Conspiracy in Death, Concealed in Death, and Witness in Death by J.D. Robb. Fantasy of Freedom and Stolen Princess by Kelly Sinclair. Maybe in Another Life. Forever Interrupted. One True Loves. And Malibu Rising, all by Taylor Jenkins Reid. These two definitely belong in the romance section, but they are quite large. Well, one of them is quite large and does not fit on that shelf. So I have Shadows and Wolves by Mila Young, and Playing with Hellfire by Mila Young and Harper A. Brooks. Why did I think filming this on a warm day would be a good idea? These are my hardcovers, most of them. I'm kind of scared to move these, so that's why we have stood up. And I feel like I'm gonna have to go like a few at a time. And yes, we'll see how that goes. But first, I have A Daughter of the Deep, Magnus Chase and the Hammer of Thor, Magnus Chase and the Ship of the Dead, and the entire Trials of Apollo series, all by Rick Riordan, Sabrina and Corinna by Kelly Fajardo and Steen, The Weight of Zero by Karen Fortunetti, The Mistwick School of Music Craft by Jessica Khoury, The Ambrosia Throne by Tati B. Alvarez, Belle Mort by Bella Higgins, These Feathered Flames by Alexandra Overy, Furia by Yamil Sayed Mendez, Parachutes by Kelly Yang, A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. My feet are sticking to my floor. That's fun. Ew, what was that? What did I just stand on? The cat there. Hedge Witch by Sky McKenna, The Warrior Midwife by E.P. Barley, When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk, Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant, She Drives Me Crazy by Kelly Quinlan, Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler, The Art of Saving the World by Corinne Duvis, The Extremely Inconvenient Adventures of Bronte Metalstone by Jacqueline Moriarty, Called the Night Past the Wolves by, where is your name? Meg Long. Thanks, Meg. And Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. A Pack of Vows and Tears, and A Pack of Love and Hate by Olivia Wildenstein, Bright Ruined Things by Samantha Coho, Dearest Josephine by Caroline George, and finally League of Liars by Astrid Schultz, ending it with perhaps, honestly, the most beautiful book on my shelves. Okay, this is the non-fiction section, starting right off the bat with The Shape of Sound by Fiona Murphy, which is currently at my partner's house. 400 Souls by Ibram X. Kendi and Keisha N. Blaine. The Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Carrington's Letters, edited by Anne Chisholm. Just Kids by Patti Smith. The Amazons by Adrienne Mayer. The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkinson. Pompeii by Mary Beard. The Beauty and the Terror by Catherine Fletcher. Medieval Bodies by Jack Hartnell. Our Bodies, Their Battlefield by Christina Lamb. How Many More Women by Jennifer Robinson and Kina Yoshida. The Daphne du Maurier Companion, edited by Helen Taylor. Marie Antoinette by Antonia Fraser. The Essential Essays by Adrienne Rich. Something That May Shock and Discredit You by Daniel Mallory Ortberg. Hunger by Roxane Gay. Square Haunting by Francesca Wade. Victoria, the Queen by Julia Bard. Embroidering Her Truth by Claire Hunter. Women in the Picture by Catherine McCormack. Vivian Mayer by Pamela Banos. The Mirror and the Palette by Jennifer Higgy. Women Artists, the Linda Nochlin Reader edited by Maura Riley. She Persists, which was put together by the National Gallery of Victoria, or the NGV. Women, Artists and the Surrealist Movement by Whitney Chadwick. Forgotten Women, The Leaders by Sing Sheng. The Five by Hallie Rubenhold. Men, Women and Chainsaws by Carol G. Clover. In the Shadow of the Mountain by Sylvia Vasquez Lovato. Cleopatra, A Life by Stacey Schiff. Guest House for Young Widows by Asda Moaveni. The Pretty One by Kia Brown. Killing the Black Body by Dorothy Roberts. Sex, Lies and Question Time by Kay Ellis. Scotland, A History from Earliest Times by Alistair Moffat. The Scottish Enlightenment by Arthur Herman. Saigon by Phuc Tran. And finally, Tragedy, The Greeks and Us by Simon Critchley. Okay, there were a couple of other non-fiction ones that I forgot. So I also have Young Romantics by Daisy Hay, Another Day in the Colony by Chelsea Wittego, and Quiet by Susan Kane. Alright. It's on to the romance section. This was actually kind of good because it did mean that I was able to clean my romance shelves this morning, which have been in complete disarray for about the last 3 months, and rather than doing that before now, I've just been stacking books on top of it. So at least it's gonna look better for like 2 weeks. But let's get into it. This is contemporary, fantasy, paranormal, and historical. They're all going to be mixed in here together. A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole. A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. My Lady Quicksilver by Beck McMaster. Unfit to Print and Spectred Isle by KJ Charles. The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. The Heiress Hunt by Joanna Shoup. Highland Destiny by Hannah Howe. Trial by Desire by Courtney Milan. Bombshell by Sarah McLean. 1,000 Miles by Bridget Morrissey. Portrait of a Scotsman by Evie Dunmore. Something Fabulous by Alexis Hall. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Everything for You by Chloe Leese. Grim Space by Anne Aguirre. The Dreams of Broken Kings. And The Secrets in Shadow and Blood by Alana Pekajek. A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Cover. Unclaimed by Courtney Milan. Flowers from the Storm by Laura Kinsale. Third Son's a Charm by Shana Galen. Circle of Desire by Kerry Arthur. The Sea Witch and Queen Takes Rose by Katie Robert. Tangle of Need by Nalini Singh. A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. Breaking Down and No Place to Hide by Megan Lowe. Wrong Room, Right Girl and Wrong Place, Right Time by Megan Wade. Two Wrongs Make a Right by Chloe Leese. Shipwrecked by Olivia Dade. Windswept, Storm Swept, When the Rogue Returns, If the Viscount Falls, What the Duke Desires, and How the Scoundrel Seduces, all by Sabrina Jeffries. The Perks of Loving a Wallflower by Erica Ridley. Her Night with the Duke by Diana Quincy. Fires of Winter by Joanna Lindsay. Lessons in French by Laura Kinsale. The Fallen World, the complete series by Laura Thalassa. A Strange Hymn and Dark Harmony, also by Laura Thalassa. Wicked Beauty by Katie Robert. From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. How to Love a Duke in 10 Days by Kerrigan Byrne. Battle Royal by Lucy Parker. Before Jamaica Lane by Samantha Young. Hang the Moon and Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandra Bellefleur. The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare. Her Secret Fantasy, Her Only Desire, and Her Every Pleasure by Galen Foley. Temptation and Surrender, Viscount Breckenridge to the Rescue, The Edge of Desire, On a Wicked Dawn, All About Love, All About Passion, On a Wild Night, A Secret Love, Mastered by Love, The Ideal Bride, and finally The Perfect Lover, all by Stephanie Lawrence. And that's all the romance ones. So that is the main video there, and I'm just going to share these last couple with you now. Like I said, may or may not finish some of these over the coming days, and I will talk about that later. I have A Lady Never Surrenders and 'Twas the Night After Christmas by Sabrina Jeffries, Vengeance in Death and Holiday in Death by J.D. Robb. I have Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen, The White Album by Joan Didion, Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznia, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, and finally Laura Jean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Farello O'Connell. And that is everything as of right now. I will of course be talking more about this in my reading goals for 2023 and talking a little bit about wrapping up them for this year, but my TBR is not at the level I was hoping for. Obviously I don't know the exact number because I don't know which of these books I may finish, but I'm not going to be buying any more books before the end of the year, so I am somewhere around the 315 mark. It's definitely not the number I was hoping for, even with some pretty big unhauls. I didn't even necessarily get that many books this year. Like, I got a lot, but in comparison to other years, it was smaller. So I was just reading a lot of other things, library books, especially the last few months, and Kindle things and all that. But like I said, we'll talk about that in my reading goals, which will be my first video for 2023. I just want to take a quick moment to thank you all for all of your support this year. Whether you subscribed recently or whether you've been here for years and years, I really appreciate you being here and for watching me chat about books and have the boys be disruptive as per usual and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you all in the new year. I hope you had a lovely Christmas if you celebrate, or holidays otherwise, and I'll see you all in 2023. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.